Welcome to Travelers, Episode 2. I'm your host, The Helmet Fire. Joining me this evening is Erik Digital.
How's it going, guys?
And CrayZJaye.
What up?
Angel Zero is having a little bit of a power outage problem due to inclement weather right now, so she may jump in the middle. She may not. We'll see. Mr. Contrabang is out on official business this week, so he will not be here either. But nonetheless, we're going to get you a good quality episode. And some announcements real quick is we are aware that some people want to hear the podcast on iTunes and stuff like that. We are working on that. So stay tuned for updates on that. We're trying to get things on SoundCloud, and then once we get it there, we'll get it on iTunes and maybe Spotify. So if you guys have any suggestions or other platforms y'all want it on, you can always let us know. Best place to reach us is on Twitter at TravelersPC. You can also follow the YouTube channel. That's where the episodes are being uploaded to currently. So with all that out of the way, the first topic we want to start with is our Week 1 impressions. Warmind's been out now for a week. We just had our weekly reset today. Today, by the way, is Tuesday, the 15th. And what did you guys think so far about everything?
So far, so good. Lots to do. Trying to get caught up on all of the new inventory items and what they do and where to use them.
Yeah, it's become I'm sorry, go on.
It's the same grind over again. It's good. Glad there's more stuff to do. Well, I'm curious to see how long it holds up. Escalation protocol is pretty badass. It's difficult, which is the way it should be if it's considered endgame content. The raid I haven't touched yet, just because I don't feel like my Guardian's up to snuff. I've only managed to make it to, I think, 368 at this point. So maybe later on this week I'll get to jump into the raid and get a taste of it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, for me personally, it's been kind of hard to keep up with everything. It's so much to do now. It's crazy. I mean, compared to how it was before. So I'm loving it. I haven't done the raid yet. I will do that tonight after we're done here. But I mean, EP is awesome. The grind is, like I said last week, is real, man. It's a really good grind. I've been playing a little more PvP, and I'm liking PvP so far. I thought I would hate the no radar thing. That's been in place for a while now, but it's actually not too bad. I prefer radar, but no radar isn't so bad. It's not as bad as
I haven't dove into competitive yet. I'm still trying to mess around with just PvE stuff. I've only had a chance to do things solo as of yet. I haven't really gotten to do anything in a group activity. I did get lucky and clear the first wave in Escalation Protocol earlier today with randos. We had enough to. It just so happened we had enough to clear the first boss, but after that we were just getting destroyed. And I'm only like 347 light, and that's with this week's what's the Cade Powerful Gear milestone for public events or whatever.
Flashpoint.
Yeah, the Flashpoint. Yeah, I got that, and that put me up to 347, but I still got the rest of the milestones to do for this week, so we'll see how I get there. Light level, they definitely made it a grind, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I do like it. I will admit that it is a little non-solo player friendly, but, I like the game better when I'm playing with friends, and that's what it's designed for, so I'm not going to be too upset about that, but overall, yeah, man, I mean, I'm having a blast with it. I'm really liking what's it, in store, especially with the Polaris Lance Anabray weapon, like quest. I guess it's time gated, so like this week we got step 2, and luckily I was able to finish that, so it actually gives you the legendary version of the weapon. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty basic. It's I'll actually pull it up real quick and tell you guys a little bit about what's on it. well, never mind. Controller died. So we'll do that in a minute. Anyway.
Well, back to like the escalation protocols. About it being difficult. The cool thing about that is I've been on, never it hasn't happened to me, but I've been on Reddit reading people, commenting about it, and there's been a lot of like on PC. There's like the lobby chat, whatever, and people have been actually talking in game lobby chat. Trying to get other random guardians together to do this together.
Yeah,
it's cool. So yeah, people you're rolling in on a Sparrow. I'm like, hey, are you doing this? Yeah, let's start it. And then like they'll start it, and other people come in. You have full fire teams coming and talking to other, coordinating with each other in the game, through a lobby chat, which is amazing. It's never been used that much before, as far as I've seen. So it's pretty cool. So that's one good thing about having higher difficulty more difficult or harder difficulty for this stuff. Is
for the first time I've actually left my my fire team open, like as in public, so people while I'm on Mars, they can just join up on random if they feel like it, so we can try to get it done.
Yeah, it's one of the cool things. Yeah, that's one of the cool things about having a higher difficulty for this stuff. It's just, I won't say it forces a teammate, but it enforces the idea that, hey, maybe it's not so bad to get strangers help in this game.
Oh yeah, man,
together.
For sure. Like, I kind of wish I had some people earlier when I was doing this Polaris Lance quest, because the part 2 wants you to do a heroic adventure, and I literally had to wait for my super to charge like 5 or 6 times to do the DPS I needed, and because it had 2 modifiers. That is like, one was momentum, so you have to sprint to get your health, and that just made it a nightmare for a solo player. I don't know how I did it. But the reward, like I was about to say, is it's the legendary version of the weapon. So it's the Braytech RWP Mark II, and it's a scout. It has small bore, tactical mag, Zimmo, and triple tap. So that's pretty nice. But of course, getting the exotic version at the end. However, I hope it ain't the next 3 or 4 weeks, but it seems like that's what they're gonna do. But that'll be pretty interesting to see, especially if you get the catalyst for this weapon. Polaris Lance Catalyst says it also adds the Dragonfly perk. So on every precision hit, you'll get a Dragonfly, but then on the 5th one, it'll give you a Solar Explosion, which is the exotic perk. So pretty excited about that. I'm kind of wishy-washy on the time gate thing. So, they've done that in the past, but yeah. So yeah, but what do y'all think about? I know y'all are doing the raid. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. We got some news on that, but what about Nightfalls or heroic strikes? I mean, or are you just mostly in Crucible?
Me, I did Nightfall. I've done heroic strikes. I don't know if I mentioned this last week. I'm not sure we had time for that, but I'm not sure if they even fixed it. The bug where you're doing the heroic strikes.
Terrible.
And it doesn't count for your as heroic strike.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
God.
terrible. Yeah, because they're like Nightfall tier strikes, and you're like, and it didn't count after all of that. You're like, damn.
It's 2 criteria so far. So far, I mean, I played a lot of Destiny 2, so it's more mine, but not as much as I would like. But one thing I can't get over or 2 things I can't get over are that bug. Number 2, we have Nightfall level heroic strikes with terrible rewards.
Yeah, underpowered gear. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's a huge complaint right now.
I'm not a fan of that. Besides that, I'm liking the DLC, but those 2 things are my biggest complaints right now, and it's annoying. Like once you're done with your milestones or whatever, there's no point in going back into it because
until you can get over that 360 up to 370, until you can get there, man, it's a grind. It's painful.
Yeah. And they did say before the launch of this DLC that your progression to max power was going to be it was going to take a lot longer than it did in vanilla game and then in Curse of Osiris. So
which is fine.
I'm okay with the extended, with the strikes not dropping, not slowly incrementing your power level. But I get it. Like, why bother doing it?
Yeah, I think it should be kind of like, okay, you finish the campaign, you're at like what 330, 340 or 345, And then I think from there it should be like heroic strikes, and that'll get you to like 360. And then the nightfall could get you to like 370, and then if you did the raid and all that, then you're at max light. That's kind of what I was thinking, but
and that's what is missing. Like, there's no mid game leveling. Like there's the beginning parts is the campaign, and then you have the end game content.
Yeah, you can't even do escalation protocol unless you're like 370, because like I think to do damage in the last wave, you have to be at least a minimum of like 355, 360 light. Yep. Otherwise, you can't even do damage to the bosses or to the enemies in wave 6 and 7 and stuff. So
yeah, I got to 7, the level 7 escalation protocol. I think it was probably Friday or Saturday night. It was pretty late in the evening, but the enemy, there's just swarms and swarms of enemy. It's so chaotic, and it's super. it looks so cool because there's explosions and there's ogre blasts coming from in front of you, all directions, behind you, and crazy, chaotic.
Yeah. Don't get this wrong. I'm not complaining that I'm not saying it's too difficult. I'm just saying like there's no mid game grind. Like there's beginning, end game, and there's like it's very difficult to level up, which is fine, but I don't know, I just feel like there should be a healthy middle game.
I think like just on the outside looking in, I really think that we're in exactly the same boat as most of the community. It's like in what our expectations were for the DLC in general. Like overall, it's like a really great step forward. But,
for sure. But
we're definitely, these little quirks that we have complaints about are just a product of the fact that it's been this expansion has been in development already for a long time, and it wasn't meant to change a whole lot. But it's they did what they could, and it's a great first step. So I'm gonna for me, I know that the September stuff is gonna be a big awesome change. So
for sure,
like even though I share these complaints with you guys and the rest of the community, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? Like I'll bite the bullet because now I know something better is coming.
Yeah,
and that's actually the most exciting part about it. Really, when you step back and look at it, is like we finally got Bungie to like do the things we've been asking them to do, and they're going to continue to do that. And it's like, yes, now I'm more excited for the fall expansion than when Destiny 1 came out, dude, to be honest. Because, I mean, just thinking about what they're going to be changing and what that could mean, and just if they take the good things from Warmind and continue that, I mean, it's just going to be wow.
I mean, I'm excited for it, but I've learned to temper my
definitely temper the expectations, for sure. But at the same time, I mean, the transparency, just the links of things they've gone to in the last year alone, or I should say 6 months, really. It's monumental change. Everything about this expansion is just shows a whole different side of the developer that we've been asking for forever, and I'm hoping to embrace that. So I don't want to be disappointed either, but I'm gonna be an optimist on this one this time.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited for it. I know changes are coming, so I'm excited for it. And this is a small taste of what's gonna happen in the future, so I like it.
Right, and I'm totally not against like the cautiously optimistic people or the pessimistic people. Like a lot of people have been burned. We can that's old news, but like I'm just, my position personally is just more positive, But anyway, moving on. So lore. So this expansion, and this is one of the bigger highlights of it for me and a lot of the community, is the lore. Like we just got some of the biggest lore bombs of all time, and at the same time, we kind of got some of the biggest lore letdowns of all time. Like Nokris and Zol were these hugely just really beefed up in the lore type characters, and they turn out to be strike bosses, especially for Zol, a worm god. Now,
right.
I've seen some stuff from the lore community, like Zol was the weakest of the worm gods, so there's more to that. But the positive thing here, the lore bomb I was talking about, is we finally got an answer to who the stranger is. And I gotta tell you, that is the coolest. I mean, like, finally, like I'm naming the episode "Time to Explain" or something like that, because seriously. So for those listening and those who haven't been keeping up, the stranger was an enigmatic character from Destiny 1 that just literally, she said that. She said, they asked her, who are you? And she's like, I don't even have time to explain what I don't have time to explain. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just a time traveling, non-guardian, kick-ass chick, exo robot that is here to help you out, but then I'm going to leave, but then I'm going to give you my gun and leave again, and you're never going to know anything. Mm-hmm. And turns out she's Elsie Bray, Anna Bray's sister. And there is a really detailed explanation on that. I would totally reference My Name is Bife YouTube channel for this, or any of the other lore community guys. But the gist of it is in the game there's little lore tabs on exotics and little pieces of like lore pages that you can collect that basically tell you the story of how Elsie, it says like day 25, and 25 days until convergence when she's going to turn into an exo, and they go over things like that. But yeah, it's really cool. I mean, what do you guys think about that?
That's pretty cool. And then also there was like a Rasputin chamber puzzle. They like like deciphered and decrypted, and it was an awesome message, and that led to something else. But that message is definitely almost confirmed that it's Elsie Bray as an Exo Stranger. It was a lot of different things, man. It's brings me back to days of like old Bungie, like the Halo 2, the Cortana letters. I don't know if you guys were around for that. Remember that?
Yeah. Actually,
Cortana letters.
I love that stuff, man.
Dude, it was great.
I love to get immersed in stuff like that. But the cool thing about what you just mentioned, the Warmind puzzle. So, there's when you go through the campaign, you finally get into Rasputin's chamber, where you actually see Rasputin for the first time. There was a symbol on the wall, and everyone, as soon as it was kind of like publicized, oh my gosh, there's this image, and it, we knew it, the community knew it meant something, and then it was off to the races. Every freaking number cruncher and smart person ever on the Reddit just got together, and they eventually decrypted this message that led to some real life coordinates in New York, and a couple of Guardians actually found this like cache of goodies that Bungie and Vicarious Visions left, and it was like a real life Valkyrie spear, a Rasputin Valkyrie spear replica, one of only 3 that were made, and then a box full of coins, and these like Warmind coins with the same symbol that was on the wall. And then a message from, Vicarious Visions, and basically saying, thanks so much for decrypting this and being a community member. And I mean, it was just a really, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow,
And there might be more. The people who found this spear, they took it home not home. They took it to their comic book shop, and apparently there were some like letterings on the Valkyrie.
Really?
That might, some numbers and letters on the Valkyrie might lead to more.
Oh, there's even more. Wow.
Yeah, there might be. Well, what happened was they checked it out, whatever, and like they posted a picture. I didn't see it, but posted a picture on Reddit. Couldn't see it because I was at work, and they blocked my work blocks like certain websites. So yeah, but that happened, and then there was a group of people who went to Seattle, Bungie, and actually spoke to, I think it was Cosmo. And then Cosmo was like, "Yeah, he's like, yeah, can we take a look at your Valkyrie over here?" And they took a look at it. There was no lettering on that Valkyrie. So the Valkyrie in New York has special letterings that the one that Bungie doesn't have. So
wow,
it might be
so they're probably still hard at work trying to decrypt that.
Oh, dude, Reddit's crazy right now, man. Reddit's a place right now.
That's so cool. You know what? I really love that, because not only did it, just put something in real life that was tangible to like get real loot, but the community is back. Like, we're here, we're playing again, everyone's on again, everyone's searching for these secrets, and there's still some that haven't been uncovered yet. Like, for instance, like Black Spindle. So in the database, there's a icon for the Black Spindle catalyst. So that's the only reason we know it exists. But of course, at this point, at the time of this recording, we the community have no idea where it's at, how to get it. No one's found anything yet, but rest assured, we're all looking. But so Black Spindle's out there in the ether somewhere.
I didn't know about it until you actually mentioned it a couple of years ago. I was like, what? So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Polaris Lance quest I was referencing earlier, that's basically just going to be a time-gated quest, which is a little meh, but at the same time, like, it definitely will give us something to do, and that's never a bad thing. Also, as far as exotic catalysts, so the exotic catalysts are kind of a fun, cool thing to chase right now. A lot of them drop via RNG, but there are some that can only be obtained from certain game modes, like Heroic Strikes or Heroic Adventure or Prestige Raid for some of them. So that's kind of a fun little thing. Have you guys gotten any catalysts yet? And if so, what'd you get?
I got the tractor cannon, but it's going to take a while for me to get all those kills on it to...
Yeah, I actually got mine and completed it, like, whatever day I was playing last week, because I just grinded it out. But the catalyst for tractor cannon gives you deeper ammo reserves and a 7-round mag, so that's pretty nuts.
I need that. I haven't got any of them yet, unfortunately. Hopefully I'll get some tonight. We'll see.
Cool. Yeah, I know that a lot of them are just from like playing the game or strikes or something. World Line Zero, if you have that, that's the new exotic sword. It doesn't tell you how to get the catalyst for that, but I was watching a video on More Consoles YouTube channel, and he has footage of people just getting it from killing enemies out in the wild, just randomly. So he had 2 or 3 clips of that. So I guess you just got to kill enemies and maybe it'll drop. That's kind of how I got the tractor cannon one too, actually.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Small side note, I beat that Heroic Adventure for the Polaris Lance quest, right? And at the end of beating that, I got one of those prismatic matrices for the Eververse stuff. And this week's prismatic matrix kind of has a it has, I forget the exotic items, but I basically popped the exotic ornament for Vigilance Wing.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Heaven's Avenger. Yeah, I'm checking that right now.
Man, dude, I can't believe how lucky I got with that, and it's called Heaven's Vigil. If anyone hasn't seen that ornament, it is beautiful. Like, it is so cool. I can't believe I got that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I want that in the popcorn emote.
I did spend $20 on the engrams. Whatever. If I have it, sometimes I'll do it, but I'm not the type of person to go blow $100. That's just crazy. But in the $20 I did spend, I did get a few items. One of them was the popcorn emote.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Popcorn emote.
So
cool.
yeah, I was pretty happy with that. I gotta tell it, man, all them new exotic emotes are just freaking cool. And speaking of factions, so I was talking about weapon catalysts, right? There are 3 weapons that are tied to factions as far as catalysts go. So the Graviton Lance catalyst, you have to pledge to Dead Orbit and go through that. The Sweet Business is tied to New Monarchy, and then the Sunshot is tied to Future War Cult. Now, if you're like me and you have 3, run 3 characters, you can just pledge to 1 to each, and then you should be able to work that out. So, and then each faction will have, and this is all database stuff, by the way. Faction Rallies is not live, and we have no ETA on when it's going to be live again. So all this information's been kind of data mined from the database. So each faction is now going to have like its own emotes and weapon catalysts and stuff. Even Iron Banner has a new ornament for the Lions. What's the Lions?
Fighting Line.
Fighting Line. That's the one. Sorry.
Grenade launcher.
Yeah, the factions will also have an exotic weapon ornament or armor ornament. for them. So whenever Faction Rallies does come back, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, first one I think I'm gonna go for is that Graviton Lance. That gun is so fun right now to use.
There's gonna be a lot of bias there.
Sunshot's fun. Graviton Lance is really good right now. I'm enjoying using those. It sat in my. I think I actually deleted it as soon as I got vanilla because I tried it out and I knew immediately I wasn't gonna use it.
I'll
Sunshot got a little more love, but yeah.
I'll be the outlier here. I actually really liked Graviton Lance's original iteration. I didn't like the recoil and the fact that the last bullet was all that mattered, but the sound it made and the effect it did, to me, in comparison to D1's exotics, was still like a super exotic feel. Like the effect the last bullet had and the sound it had, it just, it's wow, it's like this.
Yeah.
Like, it was just so cool, and I was just so pissed that I couldn't use it effectively. So, of course, I vaulted it, but I never deleted it. And then now, that gun is ridiculous.
Dude, so Sunshot, still for me, king of PvE, in my opinion. But in PvP, oh my god, the Graviton 4 is ridiculous, man. Graviton Lance, sorry. Yeah. It is... Wow, like match that with maybe an Antiope or something, man.
So let me see if I'm gonna have to do this from memory, but the Graviton Lance's catalyst is supposed to give you hidden hand and better target acquisition, which is like, are you kidding me?
Nice.
Like this is ridiculous. It's all, I can't wait. But then Sweet Business is supposed to have for the catalyst for it will be. It's supposed to significantly reduce incoming flinch, which if you pair that with the other exotic Warlock boot perk or whatever it is, it's like this Warlock piece of armor that, like, when you throw a rift down, anyone who stands in it gets auto reload. So that's how they showed in the trailer the Sweet Business is just never stops firing for like a minute straight, 3 minutes straight. 1,000 rounds. It can carry up to 1,000 rounds now. So imagine never reloading 1,000 rounds. It's just, and then on top of that, your catalyst makes incoming flinch like almost nothing. So it's like, dude,
that's like, great for the skulls and the Leviathan raid.
Oh man, for real, right? And then lastly, the Sunshot is supposed to add like plus 20 to range and stability, plus 20 to both. And
interesting.
We're running into a situation where it's like, instead of only using one gun, what we're all used to, we all in D1 and even in D2 vanilla, we all played as like, we had our one or two guns, Uriel's Gift, Better Devils, or Midnight Coup, and that was it, because that's the meta. Now we're running into the opposite, where it's like, man, all these exotics are so good. It's like, what do I choose? Like, which one do I? They're all good. So This is awesome.
Options. Yes, options is a big thing, especially in PvP. Meta gets kind of stale. So, I mean, I said the Graviton Lance, I think you see a lot more of those than than anything else. But you have options now, which is great.
Yeah.
So, Kid, let me ask you. In PvP, I don't play a whole lot of, but obviously, Vigilance Wing it's all over the place. So is Graviton Lance. Do you have a preferred loadout other than those two weapons at this right now with the new DLC? Found yourself using anything else besides either of those?
Me personally, I love my hand cannons. I'm always going hand cannon. I'm very stubborn when it comes to that. The meta could be, pulses all they want. I'm still rocking my old fashioned or midnight coupe and my red mamba. But when push comes to shove, I will ride the wave with the Graviton Lance right now. It's really fun.
So you like really hand cannons? Now, ironically, this hand cannon's more like a pulse rifle, but Crimson. That is beast mode right now, but on top of that, if you get the catalyst for it, that will give you a huge boost to your range, almost maxing it out, which is just stupid.
Yeah, I don't know if I had that gun actually. Let me check right now. Actually, let me check my collection. I don't know if I have that gun.
I've got it. I managed to get the Season 2 exotic ornament for it, and it's, dude... Crimson, so the way they did it, Crimson's a 3-round burst hand cannon, but they said the way it works in terms of time to kill is you get the first 2 bursts, and then by the third burst, the first 2 bullets of the third burst, or it's like the first bullet in the third burst can kill you if you land all of them. So you basically have 2 bullets out of 3 bursts to miss in terms of TTK, which is actually really good. Crimson is pretty nasty. And then I can't even imagine with that Catalyst range boost. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I do have it. I used it when I first got it, and I put it in my vault and I forgot I had it. So I might use this actually now.
Oh man, Merciless. So y'all remember Merciless, exotic fusion rifle, right? It's basically like Pocket Infinity 2.0 because you hold it down. It's like, boom, 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 boom. Just like it's a boss waster, right? Well,
yep.
I'm about to start playing with that again. I've actually vaulted it. I haven't played with it in quite a while, but after seeing what the Catalyst does, I'm like, okay, plus like I don't remember, something stupid like plus 20 range and stability or something. Like I was like, what?
It sounds like a decent PV.
I'm about to be mapping people with freaking Merciless.
It's a great game. I like it even before this update. So
all right, so real quick, what everybody's favorite exotic, just off the top of your head, one you use the most, like. What are y'all digging the most right now?
The one I use the most?
Yeah, the one you like the most so far with the update.
I like the most. I'm really liking the tractor cannon. It's just fun to just control people.
The tractor cannon?
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
It's viable in strikes now, and it's I think the meta, I guess, one of the preferred weapons for Escalation Protocol is the tractor cannon, so you guys can double up your or increase your void damage. So
you'll
see a lot of warlocks. You'll see a lot of warlocks running a void walker and people running tractor cannon to get that extra boss DPS.
That's exactly how I beat that heroic adventure earlier. I had to.
Yeah. Other than that, besides tractor, if I had to say my favorite right now, probably Sunshot. I'm enjoying using it. I didn't use it much during vanilla D2 because I was stuck using Uriel's gift or Manananan. But yeah, I'm enjoying Sunshot right now. Oh, and Risk Runner. Risk Runner is very fun right now, especially with Titan or Warlock when you throw down an arc grenade to proc the exotic perk.
Yeah, I need to get on that because mine still needs to be infused, and I'm still waiting on a decent SMG drop to like infuse it up, so I haven't got a chance to use it yet, but I'm waiting. And then I'll say my favorite exotic right now is World Line Zero, the new exotic sword, and for a few reasons. One, it just looks awesome. Two, exotic swords are back, at least in some capacity. It's no, like DPS wise, it's not as good as its predecessors. So they definitely, community wide, like people agree it needs a damage buff.
So it's no Dart Drinker.
No, it ain't gonna do that kind of DPS. However, I mean it's still pretty strong, but it ain't like stupid levels like its predecessors. But the reasons it's my favorite is not like it's like the aesthetics meets the lore, because Elsie Bray built it, and in the lore it says that she also built 2 sparrows that are in the game. One of them is one's Eververse, but the other one you get as a reward for the. So there's all these data fragments they put all over Mars. There's like 45 of them. There's little nodes that you shoot. Some of them are void, some solar, some arc, some kinetic, and some are killed with the Valkyrie. And they're all hidden throughout the play space in various locations. So if you get all of them, you get 2 rewards. One is the World Line Zero exotic sword, and then the other one is the Sparrow. And they're both made by LC Bray. The Sparrow's called the G335 and Ceres Overdrive, and then the other one that's in Eververse is called like the Eon Drive something. It's like it's very Vex themed in its technology, which is kind of cool because, like I said, there's a lot of lore connections to LC Bray here and all this. Well, the lore behind World Line Zero, and another reason why I think it's so cool, is not only did LC Bray build it, but she built it using Vex technology that she kind of cooperated with from people from the Ishtar Collective, right? Which the Brave facility and the Ishtar Collective, like the Brave facility did not condone working with the Ishtar Collective, so she did it kind of in secret. And because she used Vex technology with this, that's how come when you use the exotic spin teleport perk, it looks Vex in nature. That's because it is. So I was like, what cool. A really cool connection. Like, there's a reason. They wrote in a canon reason why it does what it does. I'm like, so to me, that's the most badass one.
That's badass. I didn't know about that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
There's so much lore in this, like a lot more lore than I expected to be in this.
That's what I'm saying. People aren't used to it, and there really is. There's so much to check out.
Back to like the Reddit post about or the Rasputin puzzle thing.
Oh yeah.
It looks like a conflict coming pretty soon, and it's gonna be. It sounds pretty epic. It sounds pretty good.
A what coming soon?
Like a conflict coming soon with the darkness or whatever's coming next. And those.
Oh yeah.
It's they did a good job with like teasing stuff and not giving too much away and answers. It's this lore is great. I'm loving it.
I think so. If everyone remembers from the Destiny 2 like vanilla cinematics, like. When the Traveler just exploded and killed Gaul, it also sent this huge pulse throughout the cosmos. And when we watched that cutscene, it more or less showed us exactly what the roadmap of each DLC was going to be. First Mercury, then Mars, and then the next one's supposed to be in the Reef, which makes sense. And in the game, they're hinting at it, because even in like the Lost Sector on Mars, Prince Uldren's ship crashed on Mars, and we scan it, and that was also if you go in the Lost Sector, like in the glacial drift or whatever.
Yeah, it's the southmost Lost Sector.
Yeah, his little ship that he was flying at the end of that cutscene in Taken King is the ship that's crashed, and you scan it, and your ghost just says that it's his. But we also kind of knew that from some Grimoire stuff that was hinted at, like Grimoire cards back in D1. And then so it's all hinting towards the Reef, and the lore with him is supposed to be he has some kind of pact with the Fallen, which there was actually an adventure mission in Vanilla Destiny 2 where you followed this Fallen captain, and you could choose to kill him or not kill him. And if you didn't kill him, he basically like says something to you that would allude to like some kind of allied stance, and I think they mentioned the Awoken or something in there. So there's been more than one hint to this. So I'll be really curious.
I think it's either Baif or Sir Wallen. I had a video about it. One of those two. I'm not sure which one. I think it was Sir Wallen. I had a video about that. That's interesting.
I know Baif does. I've seen his, but Mylan Games and the other lore people, like it's covered pretty extensively. So
Mylan Games, that's what we're saying.
Yeah, Mylan Games. Yeah. So
if we go back to the Reef, does that mean Devrim K is going to be the same voice for the Cryptarch again?
I don't know. I gotta say, I'll be interested to see.
They probably won't have the same guy or the same Cryptarch, but yeah, it's as soon as I loaded up D2 and we met Devrim for the first time, it's like, oh well, that's the Cryptarch from the Reef.
Yeah, I really don't know if that's the case, and if it is, I didn't know that.
It's the same person. Yep, listen to it carefully, and then you can look it up on IMDb. It's the same person.
That's crazy. I completely forgot about. I mean, I knew about the brothers, Uldren ship crashing Mars, but I completely forgot going to Mars. That's where he landed. I didn't put two and two together. That's amazing. I just blew my mind.
That's what I'm saying, man. They dropped all kind of stuff. I mean, and of course, everything is hinting towards Savathun and all this. So the real interesting thing to me is the cutscene where the Traveler's Light's passing by shows that we should go to the Reef next, and then after that is like Titan, the Dreadnought, and all that on Saturn. So if we're supposed to fight Savathun, I'm assuming we're not going to do that until the 4th DLC. Or, because the next one in the fall should be in the Reef. And if we fight Savathun, I don't see us fighting Savathun anywhere by the Reef.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's weird. I don't see that happening either. That's the Reef.
Oh,
I'm not too sure what's going to be with the Reef. Well, the Reef is going to be Fallen related, obviously.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be. I think the Reef stuff is going to be Prince Uldren, the Queen, super Fallen themed alliances or something. But real quick, as far as beyond that and the Dreadnought and Savathun and all this, like, so we fought Zol, Hive Worm God, and he's supposed to be like the weakest one or whatever, right? But if y'all remember, if you go on, there's a certain mission on Titan where like you're underground in the Arboretum, and like there's all these big glass walls that you can, and you see this huge shadowy figure swim by real slow. I mean, it's massive, and we didn't really know what to think of it at the time because it's just a shadow, and you really have to sit there for a minute to let it swim by. But it's unmistakable. Well, now that we fought Zol, we know that that's a Hive Worm God.
It's the Worm God, yeah. That's a lot of people were thinking it might be.
Yeah, I wonder which one it'll be though, because there's only 4 left or something, 4 or 3. No. There's 3 because there was Oryx killed Akka, so that was 1, and then we just killed Zol, so that's 2. So there's only like 3 left, and I forget all their names, like Ear and something.
Now, I might be wrong about this. I'm not sure. I kind of stepped away from the lore a little bit for a while, but I forgot who people stance. I forgot like all lore guys stance about this. Could that be possibly Oryx's worm that fell off into Titan?
Right. I know so Bife did a pretty extensive video on this one, and his and the lore community's conclusion is that that's not Oryx's worm.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, I think I'm going to go back and look at it too, because
if I remember correctly, I think Oryx is floating away from Titan, so that would make sense how it's not.
Yeah, they did a lot of correlations and stuff, so we'll just have to see. But now that we know what a Worm God looks like, and that shadowy figure was one, it'll just be a matter of which one it is out of the 3 that are left. So
that one will be stronger supposedly, so it might be a raid boss.
Oh, it needs to be. It better. That's the thing. They better make the next Worm Gods like way more powerful than Zol, because that was just a strike boss. I'm like, really, a strike boss?
Well, what are the arguments about? That kind of makes sense. Is we are kind of ascended. We're ascended now beyond regular Hive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. So they got to play into that. That's where I sit okay with it, because we've gone so powerful. We should be able to take one down. But then again, they haven't clarified how powerful a Worm God's supposed to be, unless you're going off of weakest to strongest, So we'll see.
Interesting stuff.
So, the new raid, Spire of Stars. I haven't played it yet. I'm not even close to light level. I'm only 347. You're not even going to be able to... I mean, it's going to be a real struggle unless you're 370 or above. And I know you said you guys haven't played yet, right?
No.
Nope. I will play this tonight is do Leviathan, then first raid layer, then Nightfall, and then try to do Spire Stars. Have
y'all seen anything on it, or are y'all going in blind?
I'm going in blind. Part of my friends seen stuff. I'm going in blind. If you say something about it, I won't. Oh, it's fine. I don't care.
I watched just a couple of short clips. Definitely not enough to get even a close of an understanding.
The only thing
it might be a week or 2 before I get a completion chalked up for this raid. So I got a clanmate that said he got past the first part, and there's decent loot from what you mentioned to be found, at least by the first encounter. So you can end up getting 3 chests that all offer I think 2 of them offer raid gear, whether it's armor or a weapon. So you got a good chance of getting a good amount of raid gear out of at least first.
I do know the jumping puzzle part has a secret chest,
right,
and that secret chest will grant a piece of armor. That's confirmed. So unlike previous secret chests that gave you tokens or moldering shards or whatever, this actually rewards a piece of gear, which was pretty interesting. So it's worth doing if you can figure it out.
Only thing I know is apparently the big boss at the end is, I'm not sure if you guys remember Destiny 1, Valos Ta'ark, people call him Rocket.
Oh yeah,
Rocket's big dick face.
Yeah. So now the Reddit community is like, this is Rocket been dick face a second.
Part 2, yeah.
Whether we wanted it or not, we've stepped into a war with the Cabal. Did you see who was it on Twitter? Was it Furion or there was an artist that posted this thing on that? He used Photoshop to make a cutout of Commander Zavala talking to one of the Guardians, but the Guardian is like slouched down, like the emote that's like he's like his feelings are hurt or something, but he's just frozen there. And Zavala's just like bouncing up and down saying that whole spiel. And dude, it's so funny. I'll have to retweet that and tag you guys in it because it's, I can't remember which artist did that, but maybe it was Plain Ben. It was either Plain Ben or Furion or somebody. And
those words,
oh my god, hysterical, man.
Those words are forever engraved in our minds.
And I don't really know what like ascended it to meme status, but it's great.
Because each time you went year one, when you went to that freaking strike, you backed out right away when you heard that.
Yeah, I know. Like it was so bad. They finally changed his health at least, like halfway through the lifespan of the game. But yeah,
each time we got to like, yep, back out. Okay, it's like the what strike is now people doing
Exodus down.
Oh, that is the worst, dude. What kind of a strike boss? Oh, you punched me twice, I'm going invisible, and then I'll just keep doing that for like 3 hours. Oh.
There's an awesome Reddit thread. It's hilarious. About, I think it was because the modifiers this week were like Solar and something else, and Brawler. Yeah, Solar and Brawler. And someone was just going off about how difficult it is. Not even like to get them into Thavix, I think it was.
Yeah.
He was like, Thavix is a god. Oryx and Crota have nothing on him this week.
Well, because like all the Fallen have them stupid ass solar shrapnel rifles, man, and it's just like, it's like the problem in D1. Like, if y'all remember Prison of Elders, right? Its original iteration, when you got to Skolas, they had burn modifiers. They quickly got rid of them because that encounter with arc burn was literally next to impossible, and the max light at the time was 365, and I'll never forget this because I beat it, and it was the most glorious, triumphant fucking thing that I ever did in all of Destiny, dude. Seriously, like, and it was funny because my heavy machine gun or my light machine, whatever, it was arc, but I was one upgrade below max light on just that one piece. All my armor pieces, all the other weapons were 365 except that. And we almost beat it, and we died, and then I managed to get something to upgrade it to 365, so I was max 365, and then we went all the way back through it, got to the end. I mean, we're like a hair worth of health left, and we fucking beat it, and I was just like, oh, I'm the king, I did it. I'm like, it was the hardest PvE thing ever, because there was like, it's like escalation protocol, like level of amount of enemies that are coming at you, right? There's like 50, 100 freaking enemies, and they all had those stupid Fallen arc homing round guns that would just shred you in an instant. And it was just like, so anyone out there that's listening, if you ever beat Skolas with arc burn, my hat's off to you. Seriously, you're the real MVP here, okay?
Oh, man, Skolas.
Yeah, that was Skolas, man. What a... But yeah,
fun fact: one of my first ever like highlights on, like, I don't know, there's clips now on Twitch, right? There's clips. Before your clips, you could use you can still use highlights. So one of my first highlights was it was like I was streaming off my console, and it was us defeating Skolas for the first time. It was amazing.
Yeah, dude, that was a hard PvE encounter, man. That was no joke, dude.
It was fun. Good times.
Yeah. It's still, honestly, that's still probably the best expansion so far, only because it introduced trials and 3v3 elimination, which I wouldn't be surprised if that comes back in the fall expansion. I really wouldn't.
It has to.
If trials is gonna survive, it has to. And honestly, I hope they do a full rework of the competitive playlist. Not because of the no radar, but just because like survival's meh. Countdown is a little bit more fun, but it just depends. It's just not. It's kind of like hard to come off that high of 3v3 limb or skirmish, and that was so popular, and it's like, man, I need my fix back.
Exactly, it's crazy, and the no radar thing.
What do you think? What do you think? All right, so Jay, you tell me, like, what do you think the overall community's reaction is, and what do you think about it? You're our PvP guy.
community is kind of like torn about it. Like some people like it, some people hate it. Me personally, I'm okay with it, but I do see both sides of the spectrum. Like some people saying, "Oh, it's great for like aggressive people. You can be aggressive and flank," but you can argue that it's actually terrible for aggressive people because people just camp in a corner and just wait for you to be aggressive and push, and trap you there. So it's a slippery slope. I don't mind it. I'd rather have radar, to be honest. I'd rather have radar.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to stop the passiveness. People just camping and team shooting. But
oh, did we lose you?
Sounds like it would make it worse, honestly. Rolling it back and not straight too far.
Well, I know. I've kind of. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Eric.
No, that was my points. If you have no radar, I would feel like, well, I'm not going to stray too far because if I get caught, I'd like to have at least a teammate or two with me if I'm going to challenge.
Exactly. It can go both ways, but me personally, I just feel like it's not the best thing to do. It's cool, I guess. I accept it.
Teams, you'll see a lot more Warlocks coming up soon with the new exotic robes that grant radar on a rift.
Oh my god! Wait, is that a thing?
Yeah, in this DLC, there's look it up, but there's a new set of Warlock robes that they work in competitive. Let me see what
it's the Sanguine Alchemy or something like that. Like that. Dude. Yeah, if you're standing in a rift and one of these guys has this on, you can track your Guardian up to 30 meters. Like you can track the opposing team's people for 30 meters out. It's not the whole map, but it's like probably half the distance.
It's a radar. You have a radar when no one else does, though, in competitive, unless they're using it too, of course.
That's so unfair, but I mean, it's
but
you'll see more Warlocks.
It's situational though. Like you have to be in the rift. It locks you down to a certain spot, so you
have to have a rift.
Yeah, you have to have one and then stand there. I don't know. I mean, to me, that's an awesome trade-off to me. Kind of like what'd they say? The new glory rank weapon, Regix's Claymore, the stupid powerful one. Yeah. Or no, that's not what I was thinking of. I was thinking of what is it? Borealis. So Borealis exotic. It's a PlayStation exclusive sniper rifle, which sucks. I'm sorry for PC and Xbox. I do apologize, but what they did with that is they made it to where if in PvP, if you could snipe someone's shield off of them with whatever element, like when they're in a super, like a Dawn Blade, for instance, and you had a solar shot, because the Borealis can switch elements on the fly.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, okay. Yeah.
So if you have solar and they're a Dawn Blade, for instance, and you snipe them with it out of their super and kill them, like break their shield essentially, every other bullet after that is double damage, which will body shot, one shot kill you. So it's good until the mag runs out or you reload or you die. So super situational, but if you can pull it off, the payoff is just unreal. And this, to me, with the Sanguine Rose from the Warlock with the Rift and everything, it seems kind of a similar payoff. It's like if you got a Warlock on your team that has it and y'all can use it to your advantage situationally, like that's great. But if you stand in one spot, you know what happens. You're going to get owned, so you can't stay there for very long, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
so it's just point. I just like that they're making interesting exotics that have perks that are so stupid broken, but at the same time it's like ultra situational. That way it's pretty balanced in my opinion.
I had terrible flashbacks to File Round Sniper, by the way, when you mentioned one shot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh my God.
I know everybody freaked out. Like a lot of people in the community freaked out about that one, but then at the same time they quickly got over it because it was like, dude, when are you ever going to pull that off? And if you can, then you probably deserve it, because like you got to catch someone in their super at the right time, not die, break their super with it or their shield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like
good point.
Yeah, and then have people to kill with those one bullet kills when it's done, and hope that you don't get picked off in the meantime.
That would be such an awesome like montage highlight thing. That'd be so cool.
Bungie like John Wisniewski and Josh Hamrick were like saying, yeah, if you guys can provide clips, like we would love to see that, you know.
That would be
Like
awesome.
they're super interested in seeing montages with all that stuff, you know, and not just that, but all the exotics like or Registr's Claymore, you know, stuff like that. Speaking of PvP, real quick, there was it was last week sometime. Somebody got world's first. They got the Registr's Claymore, and Bungie said that they aren't officially recognizing it as a world's first, but you know they were like congrats, and it was pretty cool. Well, what was it today? Someone got world's first legend rank, which is the highest rank you can get in competitive. So someone hit that today, and it's on Twitter. It's from @1secondkill, and they were acknowledged by Bungie, not confirming world's first, but basically like soft confirming it, like congrats. So golly, man, what I don't even want to think of like how hard that must have been to get legend that fast. Like that grind must have been so real,
dude. I'm playing comp right now, and I'm stuck. I can't do it. I haven't played much of it, but it's got to the point where it's like, wow, this is a real grind, dude. Like this is no joke.
Yeah,
No joke
like
at all.
so I want to read this out from this guy, 1secondkill. This was his official tweet. He said, "World's first legend. Was an honor to play this game mode. A lot of intense matches with amazing friends. Thanks for making such a great Crucible experience. Hope for many more to come at Bungie." To me, that has got to be the most ultimate payoff for the people at Bungie, and
yes.
for so many reasons. Like even me, I like PvP. I play everything in Destiny, but I understand the gravity of this statement because all we've asked for as a community since D1 Vanilla was ranking system. You know, Halo had it, and it was awesome. And then also for us to have something for those top tier players to chase, right? So to see this guy not only achieve something so awesome, but just acknowledge to Bungie and say what he said. I mean, that right there is the heart of the community right there.
That's a feel good moment for Bungie. It's a feel good moment for everybody in the community. It's like you said, we've been waiting for rank for a while. We've been hammering Bungie. When's rank coming? When's rank coming? When's rank coming? We get it, and the person who gets the highest, legend rank, and his experience was great. I mean, he said he had a great time, which a lot of people would say, "Oh no, it's terrible. Comp is terrible. No radar." But this guy's like, "Oh, I had fun, and it was great. Thank you, Bungie." And
he had a reason to keep doing it though, and look, and just wow, and then
payoff.
The reward is at the Fabled rank, which is like rank 3, I guess, out of 5, like out of the top, levels you can get. You get the gun, but then at Legend, you get the ornament for it. So it's really even furthering.
Yeah, that ornament looks awesome.
Like if you see somebody with
black.
Go ahead.
I love it in black, so that ornament looks awesome.
Yeah, like if you see somebody with Registr's Claymore, you already know they're like a beast. But then if you see someone with the ornament, they're like, oh my god!
You're screwed.
I'll never, without being carried, it'll never happen for me, man. And I'm cool with it, man.
I'm determined. I'm gonna get it. I'm going to get it. I'm determined.
Like I really think that I like the fact that there's a reward that most people can't get because there are players out there that are that good, and like without that kind of thing to chase, like that's their why. That's their why that they come back and play, and I'm okay with that. Like, there's so many other cool. I got popcorn, bro. I got the emote. I'm good, Like that's my jam, right?
And it's cool because like it's saying in future seasons we won't that won't be a thing anymore. So if you see someone with that, if you have it, how'd you get that? Oh, back in season 3. Can I get it out? Nah, you can't get it anymore, man. That's it.
Right.
It's like, oh man, drats. Like.
And that's
so
what I'm
cool.
saying. Like, and you know what else is like? That's another cool thing about our community is that with all the Sherpas out there, you have the ability to seek someone out to help carry you to at least get the gun, and it doesn't matter. Like it like for me, like if I get carried and it's a true carry, like I really just am a scrub, and but I'm still gonna be like, my memory of it is not gonna be, hey, look what I got because I'm a badass. It's going to be, hey, look what my friends helped me get. Look at the type of this is what our community does. How cool is that? Come on in and join us. Like, how cool is that? You know what I mean?
It's awesome.
It doesn't always have to be about like what your skill is. It can also be about what the community represents.
Remind me of the days of like you join the tower in Destiny 1 after you beat all glass and you have the emblem and the shader shader, and you get spammed. Raid? Question mark? You come with the raid? Come with the raid?
You would get just bombarded. When we beat Crota the first time and we had the glow who shader, I call it the glow hole. It's so funny. But we were doing, just same thing. We'd be getting messages in the tower like, dude, me next, like.
Yeah, can you help me? And I'm one of the guys at first. I was like, yeah, I'll help you out. And then, I'll generate team.
Nope, if you don't have Gallahorn, get out, scrub. No, I'm just kidding.
All over again.
Oh, man.
It's so sad that was a thing, but it was.
It's sad, but it's
a lot of truth. A lot of truth. But anyway.
It's true. Every LG post must have Gallahorn.
Yeah, Gallahorn, man. Oh, we'll see if... there's so many good exotics now. I don't know if there ever will be a true Gallahorn in Destiny 2 with the way it is now, because all the exotics are so good. But we'll see. Are
we gonna talk about the wars first at all?
For what, the raid?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. So really quickly, Spire of Stars. As we were talking about, me, Jay, and Eric, we haven't done it yet. I don't think Angel's done it. I know Contra hasn't done it. He's been out of town. But we're still gear checked, so we got to work on that. But so everyone knows that everyone gets together to try to do worlds first for Destiny raids. Like, it's been a thing since forever, since Vault of Glass. And this one in particular, speaking of gear check, this one in particular is really interesting because most of the Destiny raids on average took, for world's first, like 3 hours average, whereas this one took almost 7, I believe. It was over 6.5. It was like 6.5, 7 hours. And that's just because of difficulty alone. Like, a lot of people weren't at the appropriate light level just because the raid came out, 3 or 4 days after the Warmind launched, which normally would be enough time for everybody to grind up and get ready for it, but not this time. And the reason that is because they purposely put these gear checks in place to kind of expand the lifetime of the DLC, but also because we've been complaining that, it's getting max light and in-game ready is like, if you can do it in a couple of days, you smoke through it, and then you're bored. You smoke through it, you do the raid, you're done, you're bored. 2 weeks later, it's done. And that's not the case this time. And because that's not the case, it took this team forever to beat this. I think Ithalian and Broman's team got second. I believe they did. But I'm like, that's cool. I like that when we finally get light level ready. Like, I like that it's going to be hard.
I like it too. I love it. And the people when you wars first, you gotta appreciate their gumption and like just going at it for 6+ hours.
Yeah, 6.5 hours. That's a serious commitment, man.
It's crazy.
And I think, if it's me, I'm probably sitting in a chair playing this for like 6 hours, hunched over. I'm probably gonna need to go to the chiropractor after that raid. Like, I'm pretty sure those guys were like just done. Like,
oh my god, they're probably just got off of Destiny 2, logged off, and I'm going to bed.
And one of those sorry bastards is like coming down off the worst sugar rush high ever from all the freaking Red Bulls he probably drank to get ready for that shit. So, my hat's off to those guys, man. Congrats to them. Clan, what was the name of the clan again?
Redeem.
Clan Redeem. Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, hats off to those guys, man. That's a hell of an accomplishment.
Man, that's awesome. It's amazing. And I'm not sure how did they react to the news of them. Like, they were pretty civil about it, right? They were nice about it, right?
Yeah, they weren't sure it was there. I think, what was it?
That was like Taken King or
Taken King. Someone was.
It was like
Taken.
Yeah, it was Taken King hard mode, I think,
mode.
And they were. Yeah, they weren't very classy.
About it.
Yeah,
exactly.
But that's okay. We let them know how we feel about that as a community, and it's all good. I like what Goth and Broman and all them do when they've finish a raid, they're like, world's most recent, woohoo!
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool.
It's like world's what was it? World's first finder or something. Like, they always do something like just they don't care about the competition.
Yeah.
Maybe they do, but they do a good job of just like having fun.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well, anyway, so that's gonna pretty much do it for this episode, everybody. My name is The Helmet Fire. You can follow me on Twitter at The Helmet Fire, as well as on YouTube.
And I'm Erik Digital. My Twitter is Erik_digital_.
And my name is CrayZJaye. You can find me on Twitch, on twitch.tv/CrayZJaye. And my Twitter handle is the same as my Twitch, CrayZJaye.
Right, and y'all can follow Angel Zero on Twitter at Angel Zero, and then Contrabang, same thing, at Contrabang. Contrabang also streams, twitch.tv/Contrabang. We did miss him this week. Hopefully we'll have them both back next week. And make sure to hit everybody up. You can follow the show on Twitter at TravelersPC, so go ahead and make sure you drop a follow on that for all the latest news and updates. We are about to start a new smaller series during the week called Extras, where we just do a little small half-hour show with just a couple or a few members of the team here to provide a little bit more content, not necessarily related to Destiny, just kind of an overall unscripted little episode. So look out for that. Definitely check out the YouTube channel. That is our primary medium right now for the show. We are, like I said at the beginning of the show, working on getting everything uploaded to SoundCloud, so that's coming very, very soon. Once that happens, we can get it on iTunes and stuff too, so keep a lookout for that. Otherwise, thanks everybody for listening and tuning in, and we will see you next time on Travelers.